In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why you're struggling with your long irons, hybrids and fairway woods. I'm going to be giving you 2 drills that you can do on the practice range that simplifies the action, improves your technique, and most importantly of all, I feel, gets the right setup every single time. So many players try so hard to get down onto the golf ball, to go searching for that golf ball. Other players try really hard to try and help the golf ball up in the air because they know it's such a low lofted club. Other golfers just really struggle with it because it's such a long golf club, based on what you would normally be more comfortable with, which is a 7-iron, and often the longer club than this, the driver, is on a tee. So these longer, low lofted clubs already start to fill you with that little bit of fear. Okay, drill number 1, we're going to be talking all about ball position. So many players don't make the necessary adjustments with these clubs compared to what they would normally hit with the 7-iron. So for example, you stand with your feet shoulder width apart and the ball position in the center with a 7-iron. We've got to make some really key changes with the hybrid, 3-wood, 1-iron or the 4-iron. We've got to make that stance a little bit wider, and in doing so, if we just use the trail leg and get that stance going wider, we automatically put the ball position further forward. Now, where this club head is now is pretty much where I would like to see the ball position with all of the clubs that I've got here, the 1-iron, 3-wood, the 4-iron and the 4 hybrid, because anything too far forward, we're in driver territory and it becomes really easy to stay too far behind the golf ball and top it, or we start panicking on the way down and move too far to the left and actually also top it from a completely different body position. If we don't move the ball position far enough forward and we leave it in the center, it becomes very easy to get the body too far ahead of the golf ball and come down super steep, and that's when you catch a lot of ground. And you can also top it from there, but often you catch a lot of ground. Or, as I said at the start of the video, golfers try so hard to get the ball airborne and we start leaning back and we start scooping with the hands. So ball position is key, and the easiest way I find this to do this is do the setup that you're most familiar with, the ones that you practice the most when you go to the range. You do your wedges, you do your 7-iron practice. We hit more balls with 7-irons than we do with any other golf club in the bag, and that's why we're probably the most comfortable with it. So start with that setup, go shoulder width apart, ball position in the center, and then widen the stance, and then just take the step back for your posture and your distance from the ball. Now, a good distance from the ball with these clubs, with the irons, again, I often say let the hands just hang directly down from the shoulders. With the slightly longer club, I just want you to push them out an inch or so. So get that little bit of extra space. Get the hands ever so slightly further away from the shoulders than what they would be with the iron. So you get that little bit more distance from the arms away from the body. So 2 very subtle but very important changes right there. We've made the stance a little bit wider, therefore push the ball position further forward, and we've stood a little bit further away from the ball, giving our arms a bit more space and a bit more freedom. This is just going to allow us to have a wider, longer arc, which is going to bring me to point 2. So ball position further forward, arms further away from the body, width of stance slightly wider, and we just flush it like that. So this works on all of the clubs. So if I even go and grab my 4-iron, for example, beautiful 4-iron. This could be a new gamer for me. Take your grip, feet together, 7-iron stance, slightly wider for the 4-iron, slightly further back to get a little bit more distance from the ball. I've got good posture, I've got good knee flex, good grip. And again, a pretty decent strike. As I said, this works with every golf club in the bag. So we're going to go up to the 3-wood. Feet together, take your grip, 7-iron stance, go wider on the trail side. You can go a bit wider with your 3-wood than you maybe would do with your 4-iron. I think that's kind of a bit of personal preference. That's something I've give you the license to play around with. So slightly wider, slightly further away, and we flush it. It's always a good sign when it comes back to the mat. That's what I was always brought up with. And most importantly, I'm sure the most used golf club in your bag, the 1-iron. Take your setup, take your grip, 7-iron distance, 7-iron width of stance, widen stance so the ball position moves forward, stand a bit further away from the ball so your arms are just pushed away from your shoulders. And there we go. That drill works with every long iron, hybrid and 3-wood. Right, let's check out drill number 2. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It's just a little red button down there, but it makes a massive difference to the channel. Also, hit that thumbs up. Click the bell for notifications as well. You'll be notified when I release videos on YouTube. If you're on social media, I am as well. So go and follow me there if you want some more additional content as well. But thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. These 2 drills are important. Right, as we move into drill number 2, it's an important one. It's all about keeping that width in the golf swing, keeping that power, keeping your height within the golf swing. Too many players, that I said at the start of this video, they drop down, they try and help the ball up into the air. We've got to try and maintain that kind of stacked feeling where we get the upper body and lower body kind of working together and creating that rotation, creating the arc. But also to create the arc and create that wide rotation, we need to maintain the height. We can't be dropping and moving around too much. Now, I'm going to caveat that with we do anyway. We do move, we do drop down, we do move a little bit to the side, but I want you to try and feel that this drill, this exercise is not trying to distill those facts within the golf swing. It's trying to encourage you to understand the feeling of the arc and the rotation. The most important thing, low point. Can you find that low point consistently with all your longer irons? Check out drill 2. It's a biggie. Just as we started drill 1, drill number 2, we're going to start with the hybrid as well. So I'm talking all about width, talking about the low point in the golf swing, understanding where this golf club wants to be making very minimal contact with the ground. I see too many players, and again, this can be obviously setup related, ball position related, where too many players start leaning into the golf ball and you can hear that club really hitting down into the mat, or players that try and get the golf club airborne, and 2 things can happen here. We land the golf club too early, or it doesn't land at all and we hit the top. So I want you to try and get the sensation here that we're creating lots of width on the way round, to almost feel as if your wrists are not moving. And I want you to really feel here that the body's rotating. Feel that chest turn around the spine angle. So you go back there, try and get that width, get the hips turning nice and wide to the top. And you just feel as well, this lead arm only points to 10 o'clock as you go back. So as you go back there, wrist, hardly any wrist, loads of width. And then on the way down, you're going to be able to straighten both arms out and get that very light, controlled feeling as the golf club comes back into the golf ball. So you're able to create width and get loads of width on the way through as well. And you're just gliding through the ground. You're going to hit a little bit of ground, but you're not going to hit much. You're going to have a small blemish of a divot. So we're going to go back there, and that way then, as you're making that nice wide arc, try and keep your height, try and keep your posture, try and prevent yourself from going down, try and prevent yourself from kind of leaning away from the golf ball. Maintain, I'll jump straight to a 1-iron here, maintain your height as you control that width. If you can control width just like that, and if you can control height, you can then control low point. Low point is so important with every single golf club, from lob wedge to driver, probably even putter as well. Low point is so important. You've got to be able to control it. We do control it by setup. We do control it by quality of golf swing, and that is where this video, I hope, pays dividends for all of you watching now. So you've got the setup, you know how to build the correct ball position, the correct distance from the golf ball, and the correct feels. You've got the feeling of the width going back. You've got using your bigger muscles to rotate away, but maintain your height as you do so. It's just so good. It's such a nice strike to feel when you get these longer clubs going, because you're going to use these quite often. If you are, how do you say it nicely, if you're an aging golfer who's starting to lose distance, I'm there, I'm nearly 40, it's happening. I'm not as long as I was a couple of years ago, and it's going to start getting lower and lower. So we're going to start needing these more as we go into par 5s, or some of us go into par 4s. You may find that you have 2 or 3 hybrids in the bag as opposed to the irons. So you're going to start using these longer clubs more if you're not already. So understanding how we can kind of make ourselves as comfortable with these as you probably are already, hopefully, with your mid irons. So with the 3 wood now, we go same stance and ball position, distance from the ball, keep that width, control the low point. Oh, so pure. We're already starting to see more launch angle. We're seeing more power, speed, height. I'm selling you the dream, but the dream is a reality. The dream is the reality. Same again. Build that stance, 7-iron stance. Go wider for the 4, stand a bit further away. Keep that width and keep your height in your posture. It just works. It just works. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you for the next lesson.